I'm going to say hello to everyone, Bust. Oh, and I turned it off then for a second. I'm going to say hello to everyone, Bust. My hair's all frizzy. Look. What have you seen? Hey? What have you seen? Cool. Oh, you need a brush, boy. You're hairy. Busted a hairy boy. Oh. Cool. So I thought I'd do just a little check-in. I've come to check in on my little Buster boy, as he stays with my mum at the moment. So I'm sort of like stuck between isolation at my mum's and isolation where I live with my boyfriend. So I've come to check in on Buster today and check in on the van. No one's here, just me. And I got some parcels arrived, so I wanted to check those out, see if they're any good or not. Yeah, and take Busty with me because I miss him. Yeah, just hanging out in the van, just chilling. So I certainly need to jet wash these seats. I think whoever's owned this van before me was a smoker, and it kind of stinks a little bit. Like when I open the doors, I kind of get that cigarette smell, like that old cigarette smell. So I need to jet wash. I need to take out the passenger seat and the driver's seat. I need to jet wash those because they stink. Yeah, so I got some parcels. What did I get? You gonna sit in your bed a minute, Bust? So I got some. My brother told me to order some things for the engine, so I got a water pump. Because my brother is so paranoid that if I'm like down France or Portugal or Spain and I break down, he does not want to be come helping me. So he's making sure that the engine's gonna be good. So I've ordered a water pump that's come, and a little timing belt that's also come. So my brother's going to fit these at some point for me. I also need to get some other stuff like a service kit, and he's going to service it for me. So these are things I actually already had that I found in the house from when I had Moss. I ordered like a load of stuff from Moss, for Moss. And well, most of it I got rid of in the end because I was like, oh wow, great, I'm not going to make this van now, so I might as well sell all this stuff that I spent an absolute fortune on. But I have these, which I'm really happy about because these were actually quite expensive for what they are. They are little 12-volt spotlights, and they're touch, so you touch them, they've got no switches on, and you touch them and this comes on, or you touch them again and this goes off, and then these little rings here turn blue and it's like a little night light, mood light, and you touch it again and they go off. So I've got a pair of these, which I'm really happy that I kept. So they'll come in handy. Yeah, what else has come? Let me just put those back in there. I don't want to lose them or get them ruined, because they're nice. They are nice things that I like. So also, a parcel has also come that has not been delivered, so I need to wait for that to be re-delivered on Monday. So what has come is my skylight. So we've got to try not to break this now because it's freaking expensive. So I have ordered a little tiny skylight to go in the roof. It is a tiny one. Usually they are 400mm by 400mm, and I think this is like 275 by 275. It's who's it by? Oh, I don't know who it's by. But it's a sort of similar to the one we had in the last van. So it has this fly screen on it, and it opens and closes. So I was going to put that like above my bed, but it's small enough that you can get air and light, a little bit of light through it. Good evening. But it's not big enough for anyone to climb through, which is kind of like reassuring if I'm ever going to be on my own somewhere. And I've got the roof open. I don't want someone to like climb in on me. Like paranoid about being attacked for some reason. I think when I used to live in Shropshire, I used to live in this flat, and it was like there was like a shop, and there was a flat, and then there was our flat, and we didn't have like a spy hole or anything. And then one day there was a knock at the door, and we were like, "Hey, who is it?" And they were like, "It's the police." And I was like, "Guess you best open the door then if it's the police." And actually, it was two like hooded men that just like barged their way in, and at the time it was Dave. They battered up Dave, and they smashed a mirror that was in the hallway and tried to stab him in the throat with this piece of mirror. And someone had let on that we had some money in the flat, because I used to work at the local Chinese, and if we got cash, we'd put it in this little pot, and then at the end of the month we'd go and pay our rent, because the place that we owed rent to, the sort of building, the housing, well, I don't know what you'd call it, the housing association or whoever, they were like on the same street a few doors down, so I just go in there with cash and give them cash. Because and also my bank wasn't in the town that we lived in at the time. We lived in a little village, and it was 10 miles away to go to the bank to put the money in, so I just kind of kept the money in the pot and then paid for the rent in cash. Anyway, someone had got on that we obviously had money in the flat, and we were attacked one day, and they stole all our money and like loads of other stuff. So yeah, so since then I kind of have this like little low-key fear that I'm going to be attacked, broken in on or something. So it's nice that people can't climb in through the sunroof, because that makes my paranoia feel good. So there's that. The only annoying thing about ordering things for the van is that everything costs nearly £100 per thing that I need. So the skylight was, I think I found that for £76 with free postage, which is pretty good in comparison to what all the others were asking. The water pump kit, God, that was expensive. I need like, I need a water tank, and I want to get like a wheel arch water tank to save room, which is like a 24-litre wheel arch tank, and that's like £90. And I have no cash. Well, you know, given the current circumstances, cash is a little bit tight at the moment. I've actually had to sign on to Universal Credits today. That's depressing. I'm self-employed, and I've told them that, but cash flow is low. So I had to sign on to Universal Credits. That's kind of shit. So I have to let them know if I earn money in the month, and then they just sort of deduct accordingly. But it's kind of shit. I don't want to be on the dole. I don't want to be on the fucking dole. So yeah, I've had to do that. But that might help it a little bit. It'll at least help feed me. So yeah, so I'm using my savings that I saved at the moment for the van to buy van things. So yeah, so it's going to be like £90 for a water tank, and then I need to buy a sink hob, which is like well over £100. Like, I think those Smev ones, I think I've seen them second hand, they're going well over £100, which is annoying. Universal Credits rocks right now. It is so 2020. Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm like cool and with the times. I've spent all day today writing another crochet pattern to go on my Etsy. A little crochet plant holder thing. Plant holders are cool. They're 2020 as well, apparently. So yeah, I am still fucking working. Just I'm not getting paid an hourly rate like I should. Yeah. So what else do I need? I might order a pre-made bed frame, just because I've seen those for like £200, just under £200 on the internet, and that will save me a ball ache of buying loads of wood and getting it wrong all the time. Because although I can craft, I don't know. I don't know if I can build a bed. I might build the kitchen unit on my own though, because I kind of have that in my mind how I want it to look. And that's kind of just a box. So yeah, and I've got to buy some plywood. Buying plywood is hard right now, because all the DIY shops are being a bit weird with like, is it essential? We've got like 6 in, 6 out. Yeah, so buying plywood, that's going to be difficult, and also expensive. I've ordered a shitload of silver bubble wrap to go on the floor. The problem I'm having at the moment is this fan is like a matchbox, so I need to go easy on the insulation. So I can't have like huge foam Celotex in here or Kingspan or anything like that, because it's going to make a matchbox like even more of a matchbox. So on the floor, what I'm planning is, hear me out on this one, I'm having silver foil on that silver foil bubble wrap, Silver foil bubble wrap, and then on top of that I'm going to have the ply board, which will be like 10 mil. And then on top of that I'm going to get a load of this cork, like natural cork. It's natural, that makes me feel good, and cork's apparently quite insulative, and I don't know how insulative the floor needs to be because cold doesn't rise and heat rises, so heat in the van hopefully will rise and cold in the van will drop out. I don't know, I'm actually making that up. So that's what I was going to do for the floor. I was going to have the silver bubble wrap, the ply board, and obviously the silver bubble wrap will make like a waterproof layer against the floor. And then have the cork on top of the ply board, and then on top of that have like some lino, so like a wood effect lino or something. So that was the plan for the floor. And then for the ceiling and the walls, I need to have something really thin. So again, I was going to bubble wrap it with the silver bubble wrap, and then someone showed me their van and they had this like, it's like that puzzle together, hi Dukes, it was that puzzle together foam board that people use to do fitness on. I don't know if you've seen it, like kids have it as well at nurseries. It's like foam boards, little squares, they've got puzzle edges and they all fit together. And someone had this on the walls in their van at who I like met recently. And I was like, wow, that's a really good idea. It's thin and it is insulative. It's not like mega insulative, but it is insulative. So I could use that, and it's cheap too. So that's an idea. That's an idea to keep space, to minimize the loss of space. And also I'm thinking, like, if it gets too hot in here, open a window. If it gets too cold, then I'll have some heating system. So either the micro log burner that's like this big that burns sticks and you have to fill it every 10 minutes, or a tiny diesel heater, maybe. Either way, again, it's going to be well over another £100 for those things. Yeah, so that was some ideas for insulation. Anyway, as you can see, I've stripped the van out. There's no more like boards in here. Stripped it all out. I've cleaned it all out because it was full of plasterer's dust. So that's all cleaned out. And also I bought a blind. So I saw another video. Someone had the same van as mine on YouTube. I think they were American though, and they had one of these. So it's a oh wait, they're kind of shit. I'm gonna have to screw it to the frame of the van. I'm gonna have to screw this bit to here because it's on suckers right now, and the suckers are shit. Look how shit they are. They drive me mad. Anyway, so when it works, that pulls out and across, and it hooks on. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Okay, hold on. So that hooks on to, let's do that. That hooks onto there. So if I can drill that into the wall, because eventually that starts to pull across under its own like weight, under its own force. So if I can drill that to there, that would be great. And then maybe this bit, this bit here, that's also on suckers, I could somehow fix to here. And that's great. But you do have a little bit at the top and the bottom that people can still see through. So I'm thinking of lowering this down, and you can get like a sun visor blackout strip that's a couple of inches long that sticks to the windshield. So that was like another idea that I went for. Let's open this blind so you can actually see me. Yeah, so that's a thing. That's a thing there. Oh, let's have a look at this. I'm just having a look at your comments just to see what you guys are saying, so I can just sort of chill with you for a second. Good evening, good evening, good evening. People are just happy to see me again. That's really nice. People saying just chuck a mat down on the floor, not a problem. So also, it's nice. Hey, go away, chat. It's nice that I have done a van project with this phone. Be the death of me. It is nice that I have done a van project before because I can now have the hindsight of things that go wrong. So one thing that went wrong in our last van, eventually, and annoyingly, was the ply board we put on the floor. We put batons down. Yeah, that banner picture is actually me in Liverpool, yeah, on a night out. It wasn't really a night out, I kind of just went to there's a place in Liverpool that has It's meant to be like a street market kitchen type thing, but indoors. I don't know, it's weird. I went there anyway, and yeah, I saw that angel thing and I had the picture taken. But yeah, I don't live far from Liverpool. I'm a northern girl, right? So Liverpool's not that far. I've lost my train of thought now, guys. Where was I? Oh yeah, flooring. So yeah, so the last time we did flooring, Baltic Triangle. I'm not sure what it was called. I'll have to find out for you. But yeah, the flooring, we put battens down in the last van, and then we used like plyboard on the floor. We thought it would be thick enough, but it wasn't. It must have been like the 5.5 mil stuff, and it's like, oh, it looked thick enough, and we put it down, and then like a couple of years in, started to crack, and the floor started to like fall through a little bit, because obviously there's a bit of space between the metal floor and the plyboard because of the batons. So I now know to use thicker ply and don't use batons. I mean, I'm looking at the floor in the van. Let me show you. So I'm looking at the floor in the van, and it's corrugated, right? So why do I need to put batons down if I'm not going to put any like Celotex down or Kingspan? So I'm not going to bother with batons. I'm just going to like put the flooring onto the floor, and then that reduces the risk of the floor falling through. Skylight as well. I'm going to put the skylight in, but now we know which sealant to use, whereas last time we got someone else to do it with some really shite sealant and it was just leaking all the time. We made the mistake last time of using rock wool to insulate the van. The worst idea ever. That shit was soaking. I remember there was like a little gap in the ceiling where you could like, where the plywood of the ceiling met the front of the cab, and there was a little gap and you could just stick your fingers behind it. I remember one morning just curiosity got the better of me, and I just stuck my fingers behind the plyboard on the ceiling, and the rock wool was so damp. So I now know not to use rock wool. The power of hindsight. Amazing. Yeah. I know that I don't want to be hauling water in and out of the van all the time, so I'm going to try my best to get that wheel arch water container and have it filled from the outside, because that would be amazing. I've got so many ideas and I'm just so itchy to do them, but with the current climate I actually can't just go ahead and do all this stuff right now, because the DIY shops are sort of, it's like a mission to get into them and they close early. So, and also I need my brother to help me because I'm just a little girl. So yeah, I thought I'd check in and show you some stuff. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. First plan of action is do the floor, put the skylight in, and then work upwards, I think. But yeah, so far so good. Free mil insulation. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go mad on the insulation. I mean, if I'm going to have heat in here, then I just don't think, yeah, I guess at night time you kind of don't want it to be freezing if you're so, like, because even in Portugal or somewhere the temperature drops at night. But I guess you'll be under covers. But if I can get a little diesel heater, someone suggested that you can get these little, is it like the 2 kilowatt ones that are tiny? Maybe I could get one of those, or a little tiny log burner. I mean, I've met people when I was travelling who had no heating in their vans whatsoever, like zilch, and they were fine. They just got on with it. And they had bigger vans. I mean, this is a tiny, tiny space, so I don't think it would take as much to heat. Oh, burst! Oh no, no danger. At least I'll have like a guard dog. Yeah? Come here. Yeah, no, a man. Oh no, no, a man. You finished? Get now. Attack! Attack! All right, now enough. Shh. So it's friends. It's friends. Sit down now then. Sit. Stay. Sit. You don't go chasing because you'll get stomped on. He's a funny little man. Hey, shush now. I'm just going to quickly look through all your messages here. Yeah, keep it simple, that's the thing. I think as you're in the van, like, shush, Buster, please, quiet. I think as you're in the van, you kind of feel what you need. So obviously, straight up, you need a bed and a chair, like, that's a given. And you need, like, a kitchen unit, that's a given. You've got to cook and you've got to wash your shit. But I think as you put the bare minimum basics in, you kind of get a feel for, like, okay, well, I can fit this other thing there. And, oh, okay, I need that thing, and I can definitely fit that there. And you think, oh, well, you know, I could probably do without that other thing now that I wanted. So, yeah, I think as you make, like, I'm a crafter, and as I craft, like, I'll be crafting an item, and I kind of feel like it's not me who decides what the craft is. And sometimes I feel like the item that I'm making makes itself through me. I just have a rough idea, like, oh, I want to make a little purse, and then I start making a purse, and then it's like this thing has materialized. Even though I've been making it, I kind of didn't have a vision, and it just is now, it just was a thing. So, like, maybe that's just a load of artist mumbo jumbo, but I kind of feel like that would happen with the van. So I'll be in it, and I'll be creating it, and she'll talk to me, and she'll tell me what she wants and what she needs, and what she can have and what she can't have. And she'll sort of make herself through me. And the best part is I don't have to share that with anyone now. It's all me and it's all mine, and I can channel that without it being interrupted by, oh, well, I want this, and oh, well, I want that. It's all gonna be what I feel it should be. Yeah. So that would be nice. That would be interesting to see, like, how my own little personal bubble will speak to me and be formed. So yeah, it's all going to be a fun. And at least now the van is, like, sort of with me. And it's not like, I don't know, like 3 hours away like Moss was. And I actually have someone who I trust, with my brother, who can help me. That's not going to fucking jib me over. I can say Jew. I'm from descendants of Jews, so I can say that. That's PC, I can say that. Yeah. So it'd be interesting. I'm enjoying the fact that there's loads of time to do this, but I'm not enjoying the fact that it's not easy to get, like, to the shops. Yeah. I'm so looking forward to having, like, a little craft wagon, like a place where I can, like, when I'm in a house and I'm crafting, I can do it, but it's like, just like yesterday, I was so uninspired. I was sat in the house and I wanted to craft, and I just couldn't channel any inspiration whatsoever. I was like, lay on the sofa, like, what the fuck do? I want to do something, but I just can't. But when I'm, like, out in a van and I'm parked up by a lake or parked up by a beach or in a woodland, I'm just spewing with, like, creativity, and I'm so inspired. And so it'd be so nice to have a little wagon I can just take out into the wilderness and just craft until my heart's content. Like, that is what I'm looking forward to. And just sort of being inspired by the scenery. I mean, I remember making a bag when I was in Portugal, and it was inspired by the sea. It was all, like, blues and whites, and I remember just sat there looking at the sea making this bag. Yeah, so it'd be nice. That would be so nice. The only problem is we can't actually leave the country right now. You can't even actually go to Wales, apparently. Someone said if you drive to Wales right now, then you're going to get fined. So, yeah. I've still got my other car. I don't want to tax and insure 2 cars at the moment because I cannot afford that shit. So, I've still got my little car that I'm running around in. This van that I have right now is actually on the driveway. Not taxed and not insured. Oh, I need to sawn it, actually. That's the point. Yeah. So I'm not going anywhere yet anyway, until she's done. She stinks. She smells like fags. If you're American, fags, that's cigarettes. She smells like cigarettes. Whoever owned this previously has been smoking in here. Ooh, also, I got wind deflectors. So these bad boys. So I can have my windows down a little, and the rain won't come in, and people won't come in. Because we don't want people coming in. We don't like people. We don't like strangers. Come on, Mumsy. That's it. Yeah, you want to look out the window? Hold on a minute, boss. I'm trying to wedge this thing on here. I'm trying to dangle my phone off the steering wheel just so I can. Yeah, no. Oh, you're such a good boy. Such a sweetheart, my little boy. Oh, you got something. Ugh. Nearly at one of your eye bogies. Disgusting. That's disgusting. Yes. So, also it's my birthday this month. Is anyone else having an isolation birthday? Because I've got a funny feeling it's gonna be poo. So my birthday's on May the 13th, and I will probably be spending that not doing a great deal. Yeah. The chat keeps disappearing. Oh, here we go. Cool. So, unless anyone has anything they want to ask about what I'm going to be doing, then that was like a short little catch up on a little bit of a parcel delivery and things I've got for the van so far. It's slow at the moment, very slow. It's a slow process at the moment, but at least it's actually progressing slowly rather than not at all, because that's a cool thing. That is a cool thing. I'm so made up with the fact that I've got a van, even though it is tiny. Like, I have wheels. External paint job. So, like I said, things like that are not necessary are actually a luxury. And luxury things I can't afford. What year is your van? It's 2006. So luxury things I can't really afford. But eventually, what I would like is like a little mural on my van. So I know some artists, and I would like to pay them to do a little mural on my van. So I know a couple of tattoo artists who work in hand poke. I know a lady that does sort of dot work stuff, and she lives on a narrowboat. So I know lots of people who do artwork that I could probably pay and sort of support them by paying them to do a little mural. So that was an idea I had. I don't want to do anything crazy. I don't want to go for like, a camo stealth green or anything. So yeah, I think I would like to do a little bit of, have some artwork, have somebody's artwork out on the side of the van or on the bonnet or something, which I think would be a really nice touch. So yeah, that would be good. But again, that's luxury stuff that I can't really justify spending money on right now. But hopefully when I have some money, I can justify that. Yeah, my brother said that. He said it's like a really straightforward engine. It's like pretty much straight mechanics bar like a few things. So if you ever, like, heaven forbid, touch wood, that you break down somewhere, someone can just open the bonnet and go, oh yeah, I know what's going on here. As opposed to my other van, which was, we need to plug a computer system on it and read all this, that, and the other, and we don't really know what it is, and we're not really sure, and you need a mechanical electrician to blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh my god, and then like £3,000 later, you still haven't solved the problem, and you just have no idea what's going on, and you feel like trashing the damn van. And then miraculously one day it starts working. Wrap it in wool. Oh my god, this thing on the inside is going to be absolutely wrapped with wool when I'm done with it. I mean, I'm going to crochet all kinds of baskets and cozies and snugs and things, crafty stuff everywhere, baskets and whatnot. It's going to be full of wool, full of yarn. It's going to be yarn bombed, the entire inside. And then awning as well. I've been looking at like pull out awnings, just a clip on the side. So also would be good. I don't know if anyone's ever been to, like, I can hear cars. I don't know if anyone's been to like vintage rallies before. We have them in the UK. Oh, someone else is going past in a Transit Connect that looks exactly like mine. Hey, transit buddies. That's how it gets, right? When you've got a car and you see people driving your car and you're like, hey. Yeah, so these steam engine or these vintage rallies, we used to go to them as a kid. And me and my brother were talking about this the other day. It's like when they're next on, maybe we could go. We've got like this old bicycle. Yeah, we got this old, like, really old 1920s bicycle, and we used to take this bicycle to the vintage rallies, and we'd get on using that as like an exhibition piece. But I was thinking, yeah, we could take the camper van, and like I could have a pull out awning on the side, and I could have a little stall selling my crafties and like tea or something. Yeah, that would be great. And it's also great, like when you're like traveling and you meet people and you've got a little pull out awning and people can come and shade under your awning. And also, like when I'm traveling and there's like lots of people around us and we've made friends, I like to make breakfast pancakes for everyone. I don't know why. I'm a tourist. I like feeding people. So everyone gets pancakes in the morning because they're just eggs and flour and usually just some bananas and syrup. They're cheap and everyone's happy when they're hungry and they've been fed right. So yeah, it'd be nice to have an awning. I think they're not too bad actually. I mean, I wouldn't mind paying £100 for one of those. That's not so bad at all. Little roll out, pull out thing. And I'd be happy to pay that. But yeah, I've got like £1,000 in my account, so that's probably gonna buy me 10 things. We'll see how it goes. I'll try and recycle a lot of stuff. I mean, I've got to get windows in this thing yet. No, I'm not converted the van yet, Graham. Patience, please. I'm just pipe dreaming at the moment. Let me dream, let me dream. Let me dream about all the things I'm going to do. Yeah, I've got to put windows in this thing yet, so they're going to cost a lot of money. So, yeah. But I think it will be cheaper than converting a huge van. You'd hope. Yeah. Just need to measure a few things. Hey, you be quiet now. Don't start again. You sound like an old man bust. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. So I don't know if you guys know much about Ford Connect, but this seat here that Buster is on, so that is the passenger seat, but it folds entirely flat. So Buster's got a little chill space. Yeah, you can walk straight on into the back because the passenger seat's all the way down and flat. So that's a good little thing. Nifty little thing. God, I've been on here half an hour already. Right, I'm going to go and get a cup of tea now. It's really nice chatting to you guys, and I cannot wait to show you some actual progress videos. I mean, the progress so far is that I've gutted the insides, and I've got some parcels come through. I've got some wind deflectors and got like a little bloody sunscreen for the front. So that's it so far. So yeah, I can't wait to actually have some proper updates for you guys and hear what you have to say. So yeah, take it easy, chill. I'll catch up with you soon.